You. Yeah, you. Do you like alcoholism? Do you like stories? Do you like really stupid stories? Well, my friend, you're in the right place. You're home. You're welcome here. You know, you fit in here. You can stay. You just take a seat. You know, take a nap. Relax a little bit. You know, you're good here. You're safe with us. You're safe with us here. Especially if you relate to the alcoholism part. You're safe here. All things aside, though, this is a new series I'm wanting to start. I think me doing series of content will keep me more pressured to make content over me just randomly coming up with something to make, because sometimes that would be a pain in the ass, especially like trying to find something to work with, when instead I could just give myself like a consistent few series to do. So this will be one of them. If you guys are enjoying the podcast, that'll be up every week still, along with whatever else I decide to upload in a week. Probably going to do a little bit of my regular content where we pull up some goofy videos or something, shoot the shit with it, you know, podcast. Like I said, I think I mentioned in the, I don't know if I mentioned in the podcast, I'm going to start doing some Yu-Gi-Oh content, you know, pack opening, stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time. We're going to get right into this, because little 5-year-old Zoomers will probably click away if I don't draw your attention with them or too quickly. I'm drinking on something cheap, you know, real cheap. Gets the job done, tastes pretty decent. You know, I ain't got the money to be dropping expensive bottles for videos that'll probably get like 30, 50 views. But hey, maybe it won't. Maybe it will do better. We'll see. But sure you could tell by the title. I'm sure I'll find some good title to allude to what story I'm talking about today. But the story today is the time that the police thought I kidnapped someone. Classic one. And no, I didn't. I did not kidnap someone. I do not shove people in my basement. Hands free, swear. Yeah, let's go ahead and take our first swig, you know. Cheers, anybody out there? Want to drink along? Cheers. Good for the soul. So, where does this story start? This story starts with a younger me. I'm gonna say I was 16 by this point. I believe I was 16 when this happened. I want to say either early 16 or maybe midway through being 16. I know I wasn't close to being 17 yet. But I am off school for the day. I believe this was a Saturday. And I'm at home playing some video games. And turns out we have a family get-together that day. We're going bowling. When I say family get-together, I don't mean just me and my father and mother and, you know, brother and sister. Blah, blah. I mean, like, you know, grandparents, you know, uncles, cousins, you know, the whole deal. Whole family is getting together, going bowling. So, I hate bowling. I suck at bowling. I have a temper like no other, and I just pout and rage quit like an actual toddler. So I end up, you know, doing my thing. No soap. Doing my thing. Got mad. Probably not even 15 minutes in. Sitting around pouting. And I want to say it was when we were eating. We got a pizza from there. We go over to the food area. We're sitting down in the little booths and eating and stuff like that. And a woman approaches me. And I believe my mother was there, because she was losing her shit about this. A woman approaches me and asks, "Are you Rylan Phipps?" I'm like, Yeah, that's me. So, I take the phone, and it's the goddamn police. The reason the police are calling, and specifically me, is because a girl I had recently broken up with, and broken up with for good. Very awful, awful, toxic relationship. Cheated constantly, lied. Awful, awful. Was done with it. And apparently, she had decided, for whatever good reason, she was going to run away. And her father, who despised me, never wanted to meet me or chose to meet me to figure out if he should despise me or not. He just did. Um, just straight jumps the gun and goes and tells the police that it was me. That it was her crazy boyfriend. That if he would even speak to her or be in her life, he would have known that wasn't her boyfriend. We had broken up for quite a bit of time now. And because she had ran away and gone missing, he had straight went and told the police, I kidnapped him. So yeah. So now the police are talking to me about this, I'm telling them no, I'm telling them I don't know anything. I mean, they're asking me all these questions. I know nothing. I have not spoken to her. I had no clue she would do something this stupid. Nothing to do with it. But they're asking all these questions. I know nothing. I'm telling them everything I could possibly tell them that would be useful. I'm saying places that she might go, places she might be. But that's not the end of it, of course, because her father is still up at the police, and mind you, he drove to my town's police station. He didn't just call in or something. He drove the whole 30-40 minutes over to my town to go into the police station and sit there and just lie his dirty ass off. He exaggerated so much shit. Lied his dirty ass off. Exaggerated so much. Painted me to be the worst motherfucker ever. Again, never met me. So, it wasn't ending. He was still up there. The police had this not good idea of me. And I assumed it was over. But all this was still going, like he was still up there doing all this with them when I thought this was over. And the reason I thought I was good and in the clear is I didn't even go home after that. I was ready to go, have fun that day. I was off. So I went and hang out with my cousin, and there was a festival over near the town that she lived, ironically. In hindsight, me being accused of that and immediately, flying over to the town in which she, that probably wasn't a good look, but nonetheless, I'm clearly not in prison, so it doesn't turn out that bad. We go over to this festival, we're stupid young teenagers, going around being a nuisance and trying to pick up chicks unsuccessfully. And again, I get a call at this festival. And it is now my parents who are now at the police station dealing with this retard motherfucker and asking me more questions. Because again, this guy doesn't know how to quit painting me in the most awful light possible. Completely making stuff up. So, I had enough of it at this point. I have to sit there for, again, another 15 minutes and tell them no, I don't know this, I don't know. Going through the whole routine. And I had enough at that point. I looked at my cousin and was like, you know what? We're going to find her. We're going to find her, and we're going to bring her ass to the police, and she's going to tell them what the fuck happened and that we had nothing to do with it. In hindsight, again, if we did found her, I mean, that would have just looked so bad, man. That would have looked so bad. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, I was innocent, so I had innocent brain. I was just trying to think of anything as possible to get this shit over with. But in hindsight, I was probably just better off just shutting the fuck up and going home. But nonetheless, we drove around to all the places I know that she would hang out and be a douchebag at, and we couldn't find her anywhere. Nowhere. Nowhere. We checked all over. We drove around for hours. Nothing. Nothing at all. We then come back. The festival's over. We give up. We're just chilling. It is now nighttime. At this point, I had decided I'm just going to stay the night over at his house, because fuck it. And we were just kind of like at a loss. We were just like, it is what it is. I can't remember. Honestly, I can't remember. I'm going to say no, that I'm going to say nothing turned up for her for that evening, that night. And I'm going to say it was at least... This I could confidently tell you, and I know why. This is where I can absolutely start getting the time right, because this is where the same night, like that exact night that we were sitting in the car, like just wondering what to do, he had ended up getting me in contact with his girlfriend's friend. And we started talking, fast forward 5 years. It's my wife now, but it was about a week and a half after we had talked and then officially like decided, you know, we'll start officially dating. You know, we had talked enough and decided we really liked each other. But it was about a week and a half after that this ex of mine randomly texted me. And I remember this vividly. I remember this so vividly. I was playing Halo Master Chief Collection Legendary Run with my friend. Me and my friend like to do a Legendary Run of all the Halos at least once a year. And this was our faithful time of doing that. You know, that's torture. I really, I don't know why we torture ourselves like once a year like that. Anybody who knows Legendary Halo knows it's not simple. It's not easy. I'm getting distracted. That one went down wrong. But again, remember it vividly. I was playing Master Chief Collection with him, and I get a text, and it's her. And it was a pretty lengthy paragraph, and the fucking gall on this bitch. Text me and hits me with the, I heard you were looking for me. I heard you were worried about me. Oh, that's so sweet. Like, I'm so, and then she went, and I'm not going to explain everything else because I'm not going to explain where she was or what happened. But the gall in this bitch to turn this around and think that I was manhunting for her because I gave a shit after everything that we broke off with? Levels of retardation I just can't describe. But I can tell you that the paragraph I had sent in return was at least double the length, and none of it was the sweet gobbledy bullshit that she said to me. I definitely said things that, in hindsight, as a more grown individual now, I probably was distasteful. But, I mean, after everything this bitch did to me, and then even after I think I've gotten away from her, I almost get fucking thrown in jail because she's a retard and I'm going to be viewed as a kidnapper. Like, there is a good chance if she didn't turn back up, I would have been dealing with that shit for who knows how long. I mean, really. Like, I am thankful everything turned out the way it is. I'm thankful that she didn't decide to lie, because she could have done that and that would have fucked me. But, ironically, oh yeah, I will tell you where she was at. That's not revealing too much. She was at some fucking dude's, some random dude that literally I've never fucking heard of, who lives all the way in if you live in this area around like the Piketon area and whatnot, I live in Chillicothe, and she is supposed to be more towards Waverly and Piketon. So that is a little bit of distance in a really random location for some random. But again, that's what she would do. She didn't have to know him too much to bunk up with him, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I mean that, like, insane shit. Insane shit. I'm sure I'm not the only guy who's dealt with this too, and that's the wild thing. Like I know the story doesn't, because I mean, really, that's all it takes is a girl runs away, and it just takes one person to go and say, "Oh yeah, she has an ex. He was a piece of shit, just an absolute, just abusive piece of shit." And now this guy who's being painted and lied about in a bad light is now being viewed as a kidnapper, and it's fucked. It's fucked. And like I was younger, I was, didn't get in trouble for anything. I had no track record legally getting in trouble. I got in all kinds of trouble otherwise, but no legal trouble really. I mean, if somebody had an awful track record, or just any little tweaking to this scenario, you tweak any of the variables in this scenario, and it could go so wrong. But luckily, things turned out fine. I told her off so hard that was genuinely the last time I had heard from her, which tells you something, because this was a recurring thing where she would be toxic, we'd break up, and then the next day she's texting me. But that didn't happen after this one. I made it very clear. I want nothing to do with this bitch. So, and just hit and scoot at everything. God damn it. But yeah, that's the story about how I was viewed as a fucking kidnapper. This is definitely one of the tamer stories, just because I really didn't do anything wrong. Figured it'd be a good opener. Next set of stories I'll probably tell in this series is just genuinely, for the most part, just real stupidity on my behalf. Just some real stupid goon behavior on my behalf. But I really didn't want to open up with one of those ones. I figured we'd keep it to painting me in the better light for now. Yeah, this was a shorter one. This was the start. I know. Hopefully by next episode, I know the story I'm telling for next episode. It's a much longer one, much more interesting. Almost got me killed. Almost got myself killed. No, let me make this so clear. Nobody is responsible for what happens in the next story except myself. Okay, that's just plain and simple. But yeah, let me guys know if you enjoy this, if this is something that I should keep doing, if there's something I should change about this, if you think some different editing or something would help spice it up. Whatever you guys think, give me some suggestions. But hope you guys enjoyed. I'm a little buzzed. I didn't get through a full bottle. Like I said, the longer the story, the more I'll be downing. So, yeah, I'll probably smoke a little. I'll probably smoke a little weed on the next one too. So we'll probably get a little faded if y'all are down for that. But yeah, and turns out we have a family get together that day. We're going bowling. When I say family get together, I don't mean just